Welcome back to the ShedCast. This is the official podcast of Shed Sports. We're live from the studio. And by studio, I mean the Shed. We're at the Shed right now. This is your host, Noah, the owner and founder of Shed Sports. I'm joined here by my co-host, Tony Gambliani. You can find him on Twitter at @tgambles. Tony, what are your plans for Area 51?
See, I don't fucking know. I kind of want to watch the U.S. government blow all these fucking crazy idiots to hell. And honestly, I'm definitely going to be there in Roswell, Mexico, and probably go up to Vegas.
Sounds good. Make sure you record it though. I want to see some shit go down.
Yeah, we'll Periscope live from Area 51 if it does happen. That's something we got to go to.
I'm down.
Okay, we're there. Right. Find us at Shed Sports.
Yeah. So on today's episode, we're going to talk about NFL news of the week as usual. We're going to go over our top wide receivers for 2019, half PPR. And then we're going to end it with the AFC North breakdown of each team.
Now, I think you missed something. We got a new segment this week called Dealer's Choice. Our buddy Barry's Plug, all the way out in Not Your Business, North Dakota, will be having his first segment called Dealer's Choice. So be on the lookout for that.
Also, before we get into the show, we're going to do our jersey giveaway, as promised. Can I get a drum roll, please? Picking a random Twitter right now. Here we go. Dale Doback.
Oh, yeah.
Right. At Dynasty_Dale. Dale Doback. Wow. You want a jersey.
Wow.
DM us.
Don't be that asshole from last week that didn't, listen to the show or DM us. But we're giving you a free jersey, man.
Free jersey. If you don't listen to this, then fuck you. All right, let's do this. All right, here we go. NFL news of the week.
Dale Doback from Step Brothers?
Fuck.
Yeah, so you might be a fake account, but that's
is.
okay, Dale Doback.
Still one.
We love you. Just please listen to the podcast. But great
Again,
Twitter you named, by the way. But yeah, let's go.
I just noticed looking at your profile picture that you're the guy from Step Brothers.
So yeah, come on the podcast to discuss.
Yeah.
Anyway, though, so you were saying Shed Noah.
All right, so let's start off with news of the week. We got obviously this is a huge thing on Twitter, EA Madden 20 ratings. They released their ratings for every position, also team overall. And it was a shit show. I'm pretty sure they have a goldfish just picking ratings for the players.
Yeah.
Jake, what do you think?
It's Tony to you. But if I was honestly making the EA rankings, I would be just ashamed of myself for being an NFL player. Now, the 499s was where they really screwed up because there only should have been 3 because that should have been Nuck, your boy, Khalil Mack, my boy, and then Streamer Dan, who you guys will meet in the around the NFL season when he starts streaming picks for us. But his guy, Aaron Donald, Bobby Wagner does not deserve to be a 99 overall.
Who the fuck is Bobby Wagner?
You don't know who Bobby Wagner is?
No, I know who Bobby Wagner is.
Okay, I was about to say.
Why is he a 99 overall?
I mean, he's good, but he's not like Khalil Mack or Aaron Donald.
I agree. I think that goes along with why the fuck are the Eagles the highest rated team?
Yeah, again, I mean, Carson Wentz is due for an injury, so like, okay.
He'll play a solid 12 and a half games.
Yeah, over-under.
12 and a half?
Yeah,
I'll take it at 12 and a half. Exactly 12 and a half.
Okay.
On the minute.
I'm going to go.
On the minute.
I'm going to take over on this. I think Carson Wentz is in for a really big season this year. But, again, the receiving core is just all right. We'll talk about we'll give them their team breakdown in a couple weeks here. But, no.
Carson Wentz is he's a good quarterback, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but the receiving core is all right. They have the second best tight end in football.
I think they're a better team with Nick Foles under quarterback.
No.
We saw that, though. They won a fucking Super Bowl.
True.
I'm not trying to be biased here, but I think the Patriots should definitely be rated over the Eagles.
Yeah, I agree. The Patriots just won the Super Bowl. They did lose Gronk, but They are.
I mean, he wasn't much of a force last year anyway.
It's so Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah, I mean,
Madden, like,
Josh Gordon will be back. You can quote me on that.
No, stop.
My
Don't quote him
sources
on
say
that. Stop it. Josh Gordon's never coming back.
N'Keal Harry, he's going to be...
Okay, he's a rookie.
Okay, he'll have...
He's not Odell
He'll be
Beckham
good.
or
He'll
like
be good.
Juice.
Don't worry, he'll be good.
All right, well, we'll see about that. Other teams and players, most notably players that I think got snubbed, were Mitch Trubisky. Now, I am a biased Bears fan. Say what you want. But 75 overall, what was he, the 20th overall quarterback?
That's pretty
Lamar Jackson was rated higher than him?
I think that's just because Lamar has better running ability.
Yeah, but he can't throw a fucking pass, and he's an NFL quarterback.
I think the Bears just overall got snubbed.
Yeah.
They're rated an 84 overall.
Yeah, I don't know
on
how.
par with the Chiefs, who also got snubbed at 84.
I mean, yeah.
The Panthers are rated 84. The Steelers are 84. I think Chiefs and Bears should definitely be 85, 86 for sure.
Definitely. I mean, I haven't played Madden in a while. I still pay attention to it and everything like that.
I mean, I don't think anybody plays Madden.
Yeah, I agree. I gave away a game last year of Madden to a girl, I believe, which was crazy.
Nice.
But, yeah,
Congrats
I know
on
chicks. But, yeah, shout out Angelina Gambliani. I know you're listening. But, yeah, so be on the lookout for that again this year. Similar to a jersey giveaway, I'll be giving away a Madden to the system of your choice. So pay attention to that. Anyway, sorry about that. I was drinking some water. It's 100 degrees.
Gotta stay hydrated.
Yeah, it's 100 degrees in Mind Your Business, Illinois right now. But
yeah, especially hot in the shed.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the studio.
Yeah.
But also, the Redskins at 83.
No.
Are they that good?
They got a good defensive line. Ryan Kerrigan.
I mean, is that enough, though, to put them at 83?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or I guess the Browns are at 83 as well.
Yeah, and their receiving core is terrible.
Case Keenum, you think he could pull it off there?
You mean Dwayne Haskins? Yeah, I think Dwayne Haskins can, but it's going to be difficult when he only gets like 8 games to start this year. But yeah. So anyway, though, moving on from Madden rankings, more news of the week are these preseason holdouts. Most notably, Melvin Gordon.
This is a huge one. This has huge draft implications.
Yeah, I mean, I personally rank Melvin at RB5 and player number 5 to take over your board. Take on your board. The only other guy I'd probably take over Melvin would be Nuck Hopkins. But besides that, I mean, you're getting a premier running back. But this makes Eckler just a lot better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's already a good running back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if he had a starting job there, he would be RB1 for sure.
Yeah, and he was, I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure he was top 5 in the league in yards per carry last year. He gets a lot of catches. He's a better receiving back than Melvin. So that would definitely benefit Eckler a ton. But, I mean, I love Melvin. I love the Chargers, as I mentioned before. Second favorite team, probably. But I think this makes the Chargers a little worse.
Yeah. No, definitely. All right. Well, what do you think? Trade or new contract? Because that's what he's demanding. He either wants a new contract. I think that's what he prefers. I think this holdout is all just a ploy to get a new contract.
Yeah, it definitely is.
He says new contract or trade.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, he doesn't probably want to leave. I think the Bills would be a great suitor because they definitely need a running back now that Shea's done almost. But
he's still starting though, right?
Yeah, but besides that,
he's done though.
Yeah,
he's been done.
Yeah, but besides that,
unless it snows.
Yeah, and they need they really need to make a deal with him, but they don't need to pay him money that like Le'Veon got or other top money. If they could get a deal probably around like $12 million a year, $11 million a year, that'd be huge. They also have to think about the future of Derwin James. So they're going to definitely have to lock down. Melvin Ingram, is a great linebacker for them. They have like 3 All-Pros last year, so I don't know. I think Melvin needs to take one for the team and take a little bit lesser of a contract.
Yeah, I mean, especially with
10 or 11.
Especially with this injury history. I mean, for a running back, it's never good to have.
He probably just
when trying to get a new contract.
Yeah, guaranteed money goes a long way in the NFL. So we'll see if that's something that really plays a factor.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I mean, going off guaranteed money, let's talk about Drew Lock.
Yeah,
your guy.
My guy. MIT.
He was also holding out.
Yeah,
and he was looking not for more money, just for guaranteed money.
Yeah, but as I was looking into articles about that, it really said that he wanted more guaranteed money than the second round pick gets. Because every NFL pick now is slated no matter where you're drafted. So he wanted more guaranteed money, which I don't really blame him. As a quarterback, they get beat up a lot. I mean, I saw Drew play a lot at Mizzou. He's probably was my favorite player at Mizzou since I've been an undergrad there.
He's pretty electric.
Yeah, he is. He throws the ball a fucking country mile, And like,
how many feet is that?
At least 10.
At least, okay, I was gonna say at least 600.
Okay, yeah,
We'll
but yeah, and I even played one time a pickup basketball game with him, and he swatted
how many points
the.
did he score?
I don't know. I had to guard him, and he probably scored every time down the court and blocked the shit out of me.
Was he that classic football player, pickup basketball player where he just rebounds everything and just fouls?
No, he actually had college basketball offers to play at some smaller G2s, and I believe a walk-on at Oklahoma State if he wanted to. But yeah, he's an overall great athlete. Basketball. Yeah, good thing he didn't play basketball. He should have been a first-round pick.
He'd be a car salesman right now if he decided to play basketball.
Yeah, or like an accountant somewhere or something. But
I swear, like every college athlete ends up being a car salesman.
Yeah, or working for like Enterprise or something.
Enterprise.
We'll pick you up.
That's not an ad though.
No.
Not an ad. Or if you want to pay us, hey, we'll advertise.
Yeah. So anyway, though, Drew Lock wanted more guaranteed money. Didn't get it. Signed the deal today. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, whatever. That training camp doesn't start now. Actually, we got football in 15 days of this recording. Hall of Fame game. Broncos versus the.
Who is it?
All right.
Hall of Fame game. All right. Well, while we're looking that up, let's talk about some of our top wide receivers.
Falcons. That's who it is.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Yeah, because Tony Gonzalez is going, and that's right.
We got slow internet connection out in the shed.
Yeah. Anyway, though, so we have 15 days away from football. The Broncos wanted to get a deal done with Drew Lock before training camp started, and so we can get some snaps because we'll probably see a lot of him in the Hall of Fame game. But anyway, yeah, moving on to receivers.
My boy, number one. I think this is pretty worldwide. Our number one guy, DeAndre Hopkins.
Yes.
He's the number one.
He's my number one as well. Nuck is absolutely insane. 0 drops last year, 99 in Madden. You'd be dumb not to take him outside in the top 6, probably 5-6 range, depending on your PPR situation. But yeah, Nuck is the man.
I mean, skill-wise, he's the best in the NFL. You could probably argue Julio Jones, but I'm taking DeAndre 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
Who's your number 2?
My number 2, that's a good question. There's a lot of guys that come to mind, but to me this year it's going to be Odell. And this is not just because I'm an Odell fan. I was on him before he started playing for the Giants in his rookie year. I traded Keenan Allen for him. But when Keenan Allen was dick that year.
Keenan Allen was also pissed about his EA Madden 20 rating.
Yeah, he's pissed about a lot of stuff.
I mean, that's pretty fair.
Yeah,
he's not that good. I mean, he's good, but he's not that good.
But anyway, so yeah, I put Odell at number 2. How about you?
I'm going Julio. I mean, he's skill-wise, I guess, second best in the NFL. The Falcons have brand new offensive line with their 2 new offensive linemen that they drafted in the first round. I'm expecting a lot of quality looks for Matt Ryan.
Yeah, and Matt Ryan, yeah. All right, so then I would say, who's your number 3?
Ooh, number 3.
Personally, for me, though, it's probably Devontae Adams. Again, I'm snubbing Julio a little bit, but I feel like all 3 of these guys, Julio, Adams,
huge
and Odell.
Touchdown upside.
Yeah.
Huge touchdown
But I feel like all 3 of those guys are really interchangeable.
Yeah.
You really can't go wrong with any of them wherever you pick. But, I mean, Odell, I think, is going to separate himself this year. I'm calling it right now. Odell's going to have at least 1,500 yards this year.
That's a hot take.
It is a hot take.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. But
Odell is good. You heard it here first.
But no, 1,500 yards is really...
That's a lot.
It is a lot. Maybe even 1,800,
probably.
I'd say.
18? Oh,
I mean,
okay.
Well, what did T.Y. have a couple years ago? Didn't he have like 2,000? Yeah. I think Odell could definitely
I got Odell at 4. I got him as my 4th guy.
Okay, then I think I have Julio at 4.
I think Baker is he's not going to just favor one guy just because he's good. He's going to spread the ball out.
Yeah,
I mean, Odell will get a lot of looks for sure. He'll get open. He's a good wide receiver. But Baker's not going to be a guy that just forces the ball to Odell just because he's good.
His ADP is right around the 12-13 mark.
Which is fair. That's
I agree.
That's a good place to
But, if you could take him, if he somehow falls past 13, you are getting a steal. Maybe go with the 2 wide receiver strategy. It works out for some people, again, depending on your league type. But I'm all in on Odell. And then for me, rounding out my top 5 this year
We're
is
gonna
actually
agree on Mike Thomas at 5, right?
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we could probably most of us could agree on that. He's consistent. He gets the ball. He gets his shares. He's good.
All right. Now, the biggest receiver question, I feel like, who's going to be better when you're comparing 2 receivers on the same team is Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs.
See, my initial reaction is take Diggs. He's a better receiver, skill-wise. I think he's a better receiver. He's a better route runner. But for fantasy, Thielen, I mean, they don't force him the ball, but he gets the ball.
I agree, but Thielen has been...
He's so consistent.
He hasn't shown up the past 2 fantasy playoff weeks. I love Diggs because for the reasons that you said that come off right away, because he's a great route runner. He gets open. He's just quicker than majority of the people on the field, and he gets a lot of receptions too. Diggs is the man. He's a guy that could put up 10 receptions for 68 yards and a touchdown on a given week. And again, if you play in a PPR league, that's huge. That's an extra touchdown right there.
You can't go wrong with either of them.
Yeah.
If you're gonna, it's kind of a flip of a coin.
I'm taking Diggs though. It's
your
pick.
It depends. It's honestly like a flip of a coin.
It's your pick.
Do what you want. I mean, if it's full PPR, I'd probably take Thielen. Half PPR, flip a coin or roll a dice.
Yeah. Okay. So now,
do you want to talk about Tyreek Hill real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Where do you think he should be drafted? Half PPR, because he's expecting a maximum of 4 game suspension.
I don't know.
He might not even get suspended. So what do you think?
It's a very sticky situation, and I think he's at fault here. Those text message recording or those voice recordings
sounds fake as shit.
It sounds so staged. If I was gonna, not that I would, but if I was gonna stage something, that's exactly how I'd have somebody talk.
This is going to end up in court in 10 years.
Yeah, I agree. But, I don't know. Tyreek's a great fantasy option, though.
He's one of the best receivers in the league. He's the fastest player in the league.
He's getting drafted super late, but that's just because of the uncertainty. So if you have
once we get closer to this season, we'll know more.
Exactly. And if you have a earlier draft, let's say right around the first week of August,
you could get a steal on him.
You could get a steal with them in the 6th round, I would say.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, okay.
3rd or 4th.
Really? You think he's going to go that early?
Yeah. I
don't know.
Sure, yeah.
There's a lot of
it's a maximum of a 4-game suspension. When he's playing, he's a top 3 receiver.
Yeah, I agree. But
I would take him in the 3rd.
No,
maybe not early. 3rd.
Especially if you have an early draft. You're investing a 3rd round pick, which is a guy that should be your 3rd best starter, at least.
If Tyreek's your 3rd best starter, you're set.
That's a lot to risk. I don't know.
It's really not that big of a risk, though.
I play fantasy probably a little bit more conservatively than you, but
go big or go home.
I agree. That's a big time boomer bust.
Yeah.
But besides that, I don't know. If you're we'll find out more information. So if you're drafting maybe around the first week in September, you'll have 4 weeks, 5 weeks more of information that could definitely benefit you. We'll update you guys when that happens, but that's a big thing that we definitely have to keep an eye on. So who is your sleeper?
My sleeper for wide receiver? Are we going deep sleeper or just
Let's say a guy that you could draft in the 5th round, 6th round to be your flex, potentially busting into your wide receiver 2, and maybe even wide receiver 1 upside. Now that's a big ask, but let's see who you got. And don't say Sammy Watkins.
No. All right. Whatever you do not draft Sammy Watkins before the 6th round. You could take a chance on him
late
7th. I wouldn't take him before the 12th.
There's no fucking drafting. You'll find him on the waiver wire in week 4 once Tyreek Hill's playing.
He's not good anymore. He had one good season on the Bills. Don't do it. Just don't do it.
Okay, so who's your guy? I got 2. So if you pick one, I'll talk about him.
Well, all right. Why don't you go first, and I need to think about.
Okay, so I'll tell you who my number 1 is right now, and that is Kenny Golladay. Okay. Golladay is due for a breakout year this year. Matt Stafford could honestly go down in leading in passing yards, pass attempts, pass completions, and touchdowns, potentially the last one, and be considered one of the best statistical leaders in football history at the quarterback position, which is crazy to think about because he's not going to be a Hall of Famer. Well, at least his playoff resume doesn't mean a Hall of Famer. But so he chucks the ball all over the yard. Can again throw it like a country mile. Georgia boy, Team SEC. He likes to sling it. Kenny Golladay is going to be his guy. No more Golden Tate. Marvin Jones is a year older, and there's talk of Marvin Jones not even making the roster. Kenny Golladay in the 5th or 6th round. Wow, that's the guy. That if he's there and you take a guy like Brandon Cooks over him or something like that, you're just donating to your league pot that year. That's just embarrassing.
All right, I'm gonna go with Tyler Lockett.
Tyler Lockett,
yeah,
okay.
Huge touchdown upside. What do you have last year? 9 or 10 touchdowns?
10 touchdowns.
10 touchdowns. He could do the same. Maybe 11 or 12.
Yeah, thank you to our intern for that, though.
Yeah, shout out to our intern.
But yeah, that's what they're there for a little stat checking. They've gotten 2 things today between Dale Dobeck and 10 touchdowns or Tyler Lockett. But yeah,
he's like the Stephon Diggs for the Seahawks.
Yeah,
good route runner.
Fast as hell.
Fast as hell. Big touchdown upside.
And plus, they don't really have anybody.
Well, they got DK, which I mean, you just go. He's that player. You just go up.
Okay.
But I mean, I feel like he could be pretty good too.
Yeah. One more thing before we get to dealer's choice is we had a request from a fan about rookie wide receivers. Who is your number 1 rookie wide receiver?
If I'm putting bias completely aside, I got to go N'Keal Harry.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
100% unbiased.
First round
pick. It's a little biased. I mean, there's a reason Belichick picked a wide receiver in the first round. He's never picked a wide receiver in the first round in the Tom Brady era. They need a wide receiver. Josh Gordon will be back, though. He'll be back. But for the time being, I think N'Keal Harry will be a pretty solid option fantasy-wise.
Yeah. For me, it's DK Metcalf's running mate at Ole Miss, and that is A.J. Brown of the Titans. Now, we'll see what Mariota is really capable of.
Tannehill.
Yeah, or Tannehill. I hope they're able to actually start airing it out because I think A.J. Brown might have been one of the better receivers in the draft. I said it during college, he was better than Metcalf. Metcalf was just a man amongst boys. I am not really too high on him, but I really feel like A.J. Brown is the guy to draft if you're going to draft a rookie receiver this year. And he's not Antonio Brown's cousin. That's Hollywood Brown, and he plays for the Ravens.
My sleeper for rookie wide receivers has got to be Hakeem Butler.
Yeah.
He was my number 1 wide receiver coming into the draft.
Iowa State.
He was a good fucking wide receiver. He made his quarterback look really good. I think he could be. Him and Kyler could have a good connection.
Is he in San Francisco?
No, he's in Arizona.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, they also got
Anthony Isabella.
Larry Fitzgerald obviously is still there. I don't know. He's probably not leaving ever. But I think just in general, I think that offense will be a lot better, even without a good offensive line.
Yeah.
They have a lot of options now.
Yeah. Another good one that comes to mind, though, is Paris Campbell.
On the Colts?
Yeah, on the Colts. We'll see really what he does. We talked about him last week. Ton of speed. Ohio State receiver. Ohio State receivers, I don't know if you knew this, tend to be pretty good. Michael Thomas, most notably. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, so that's it for our receiver rankings. Let us know if we missed anything. If you want to discuss something on Twitter at ShedSports and at TGambles. But before we get to Dealer's Choice, one last segment. What is it?
Do you want to crack a claw?
Yeah, this is cracking claws.
Remember, kids, there's no laws when you're cracking claws. All right, let's do Dealer's Choice.
What's up, everyone? This is the Dealer's Choice segment, and I am your host, Barry. This segment is going to be made up of pretty much anything I want to complain or talk about that has happened within, the past week or so. So let's get right into it. The first topic that I have to discuss is called Fantasy Fuckboy. Essentially, this is basically a story about a kid in my fantasy football league annoying the absolute fuck out of me. I'll give you some background here. I have the first pick in the draft, so people are going to think I'm taking Saquon Barkley. But there's one specific person in my league right now that has been telling everyone, hey, Barry's not going to pick Saquon with the first pick. He'd be an idiot to do so. He's even going as far as saying that I would come in last place if I do pick him. The funniest part about this is that he has the second fucking pick in the draft. So if you kind of connect the dots here, it's pretty obvious what he's trying to do. It's not like he's never done this before. He's kind of a fucker, to be honest. People call him Hitler in our league. It's whatever. I'm probably not going to pass up a talent like Saquon Barkley. You don't really see that kind of monster in the backfield unless you go way back and look at a guy like Barry Sanders. So I just wanted to throw that out there, just how ridiculous it is that he's even putting polls in the group me saying, is he going to take Saquon Barkley or not? Obviously, I'm going to fucking take him, Hunter. So the second topic that I'd like to discuss is actually called Ideas. And this one is inspired because I just actually got back from Colorado on a vacation. And what I realized in Colorado is, holy fuck, do those people love their weed and also love talking about getting high. So my inspiration was the best ways of saying I'm high or I'm going to get high. So I wrote a couple of them down here. My personal favorites are I'm toasted, I'm blasted, and I'm gone. They all pretty much mean the same exact fucking thing. They're all just talking about getting high. It's just the most creative ways you can come up with. You've got I'm faded, I'm stoned, I'm baked, I'm ripped. You can even say I'm zooted, which only if you're really fucking high you say that. But just being out there, they say all these like every single second that they're high. Now, I'm not saying that I partake in this marijuana that you call it, but I do know some people that do it, and they say pretty much all these. So the last topic I'm going to talk about is actually called boredom. We're all fucking bored because football isn't on TV anymore. So I wrote down a couple things that you could actually do to take football's place for the meantime while we're waiting until September. First one, I just put straight up play Madden. That's the closest thing you're going to get to actual football until September. So if you want to go put it on rookie and run up the fucking score up until the first kickoff this season, go right fucking ahead. No one's gonna stop you there. The second thing I put is do some yard work. Because if you're a lazy fuck like me, your yard probably looks like absolute garbage right now. Your fucking grass is probably 3 feet high. You haven't trimmed your bushes in like 7 months. You honestly forgot you even had a yard because you're probably just watching sports all day in your house. But, just go out there and maybe spend some time fixing the yard with your dog. I don't know what the fuck you got, a cat, whatever. The third thing I wrote down is actually just finish up your divorce because you're probably watching so much fucking football. Your wife gave you a divorce and now you got to finish it up, and you're probably just putting it off like everything else you do in life, so you might as well finish it up and so you can move on. The next thing I wrote down is actually talk to your wife so you don't get a divorce, so that kind of goes hand in hand. If you do have a wife right now, I'd recommend saying a couple words to her every so often just so you don't end up in a divorce, but, if you get a divorce, you probably can watch football more, so who am I to say what's better? The next one kind of goes with everything. See what the kids are up to. You honestly probably forgot you even had kids. So, yeah, just check up on them in their room or something. And then I also wrote, experiment with new drugs. Not going to say that I do this, but if you're that fucking bored, you might as well have fun. That's all I got to say about that. And then the last one, I just put watch baseball. It's actually on TV. It's a sport. People play it. There's teams. I know it might be boring to some of you, but give it a fucking shot. Why not? But anyways, thanks for listening, guys. I appreciate it. This is Barry. You can find me at Barry's Plug on Twitter. I don't really tweet out too much right now, but I will get going in the future. Also, keep fucking listening to this podcast. Peace out, y'all.
All right, we're back live from the shed. That was Dealer's Choice from Barry's Plug, our other co-host. Thank you, Barry. All right, so now what we have left is the divisional breakdown for the AFC North. So we're going to talk about the Steelers first, right?
Yeah, we're going to go east to west here.
East to west, okay.
If you're looking at the map, that's right to left. We had a little bit of issues with that last week.
Yeah, we have an issue here and there.
Yeah, he does the math.
I'm pretty good at it, though.
I can do the geography. Anyway, so Pittsburgh, Big Ben might be, again, in the same high school class as Frank Gore and my dad because he's really that old.
Where do you put him like overall as quarterback?
I mean,
he lost his best receiver.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys still I would rather take than Big Ben this year.
I don't think
I don't think he's your starting quarterback. There's definitely about 12 or 13 guys that I could think of that I'm not going to rattle off right now.
You won't have that appeal as you did last year.
I agree. Big Ben's not really my guy this year, but who is my guy is Juju. And who doesn't like Juju? He's America's favorite player. He's all over Twitter, Instagram. He's just a funny guy. He's younger than me, which is
that's crazy.
Scary. Yeah.
We're in a shed recording a podcast that 50 people listen to, and he's one of the best receivers in the NFL.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
I know. And there's not much to be said more about Juju. Definitely a second-round pick this year. Probably a first-round pick in Dynasty. He's going to catch at least 100 balls, score probably 10 touchdowns because that's just
1,300 yards probably.
Yeah, that's just what he is. He's Juju. He's the man. Maybe another 99-yard touchdown we'll see this year. He's got 2 already. But when you look around their other receivers, they got James Washington, who's a young guy.
Dante Moncrief?
Yeah, but they did add Dante Moncrief.
He might be serviceable.
We'll see. I think Moncrief's underrated. We'll see how good really he is.
I mean, they definitely need a wide receiver, too.
Yeah, and
they're going to have another guy that's going to be serviceable.
And that just fits the Steelers' offensive mode. Just not run a bunch of plays, throw it to everybody that's open, and that will be when Juju's in double team, that'll be Dante Moncrief. Then when you look at their backfield,
James Conner and Jalen Samuels.
Yeah, but I think James Conner's the dude. He's another guy that could be argued in that 10 to 14 range. Is he a first round pick or is he not?
He's a top 10 pick.
Yeah,
I mean, there was that report that came out that's saying that him and Jalen Samuels are going to be splitting carries.
Yeah,
that's not going to be the case.
And then
he's going to be the guy.
Recently,
he will be the guy.
More recently, though, they did say he should have a similar workload to last year. He would have played the whole season, except he had a brutal ankle sprain, which, I mean, it's a bad injury, but it's not something that really shows fragility, in my opinion.
If he can come back from cancer, he can come back from ankle.
Yeah, and did you see that thing this week? It said if he went into the Pittsburgh medical office, they were doing an MRI on his torn MCL. And the doctor said, wow, if you didn't come here in a week, you would have been dead from cancer. It was so spread out throughout him that he was that close. Just a great story.
He's got grit.
Yeah, he's the man. Pittsburgh born and raised, went to Pitt. Just a great guy. I love James Conner, and for that reason, you should love him too.
Draft him as a top 10 runner.
Yeah, and worst case scenario, like, he's kind of bad, but, like, he's James Conner.
He's bad, he'll be good, though. Like,
yeah,
relatively. Like, a bad season for him is, like, still okay.
Yeah.
But that won't happen.
His floor is very high, which is always a great thing to, draft upon.
But how do you feel about Jalen Samuels? Do you think he could be a flex option?
We'll see. I'm not going to draft him to be a flex option, but he very well could be becoming a flex option. It's always nice to have a solid running back behind a guy behind like an elite running back like James Conner and like kind of handcuff somebody. Yeah. So that's definitely something that's pretty valuable. But I mean, for me, I think Jalen Samuel's a guy that you might draft at the end of your draft. Probably picks 13, 14 or later.
I mean, especially if you drafted James Conner.
Yeah, that'd be a nice backup to have.
Yeah.
So
handcuff. All right, so let's move to. You got to help me out on this one. I don't know where we're going next.
We're going to Baltimore.
All right, road trip to Baltimore. Let's do this.
Oh shit, we should start out with Baltimore. But anyway. We just got too excited about the Steelers because the Baltimore Ravens are that boring. Lamar Jackson kind of sucks. They got
good rushing option.
Yeah,
he'll be good in fantasy.
Let's just say we did that on purpose because the Ravens suck. Yeah. I can only see one player on their depth chart that is somebody I'd be happy with drafting, and that's Mark Ingram. Your boy,
even at that, I don't feel very comfortable.
And they run the ball a lot.
Defenses are gonna stack the fucking box.
Yeah, but I mean, we saw with RG3 when he's in Washington how much of
him and Alfred Morris.
Yeah, Alfred Morris. I think was like a 1,200-yard rusher that year.
Yeah, he was get on board with that take.
Yeah, so we'll see.
You just convinced me on drafting Mark Ingram.
Yeah, go ahead. I know he's one of your favorite guys. He helped you win our league a couple years ago or 2 years ago, but I think he's the only player. Marquise Brown's hurt, a.k.a. Hollywood Brown. He's hurt. That's why he wasn't one of my top receivers on our receivers list. They got Willie Snead still. Go ahead.
Do you think any of these wide receivers are going to be a good option to draft?
No, none of them are.
You heard it here first.
You just want to move on. That we talked about really all there is to talk about the Ravens.
There's really not much going on there.
Like, they suck. Their offense is terrible. The Ravens, I think, honestly could come in last in this division this year.
Yeah.
When I was going through the division and their schedules,
it'll be between them and the Bengals for sure.
I don't know. Well, we'll talk about the Bengals next, actually.
We'll
but
see.
Is
that west of
Baltimore?
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going there.
It goes Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, or no, not Cincinnati. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincinnati. So we'll talk about Cincinnati last. But Cleveland, they're probably the team to beat in that division. They made a lot of great offseason moves this year.
Huge offseason.
Yeah, they signed or traded for Olivier Vernon and Odell. They're going to be better on both sides of the ball. They got year 2 of Baker, who is a top 6 or 7 quarterback. Could be a top 3 quarterback when it's all said and done this year.
I mean, if he makes a Mahomes-esque jump from freshman to sophomore
you're asking
year,
for a once-in-a-lifetime season out of a guy. Or, you know what I mean?
That's a potential MVP season.
Yeah.
Especially, if he wasn't on the Browns and he performed really, really well, probably wouldn't be MVP. But just the fact that he's on the Browns and he's going to have a great fucking season, I think he could be the MVP.
Yeah.
He'll be in the running for sure.
Yeah, we'll see. They have to, I think, get a top 3 seed. We'll talk. I don't really know more other guys, though, about the MVP race than a guy I'll talk about later. But besides that, OBJ is my wide receiver 2 this year. Jarvis, probably, you can find him more around 20.
20?
Yeah, wide receiver 20, not 20th overall.
Yeah, okay. I think Baker will spread the ball a decent amount, so I think Jarvis he'll be a little better than he was last year.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the tight end situation?
Njoku's a fucking man. He's huge. He's really solid. I wonder. He had problems with drops last year.
Yeah.
We'll see how good he does this year with that. He's just so big, it's kind of hard not to draft him. The tight end market, really outside of Kelsey, Ertz, and the guy...
Kittle.
Yeah, George Kittle. I can never remember George Kittle.
I don't know why.
He's just a guy.
It's a very forgettable
He went to your
name
alma mater. Come on.
Yeah. No, it's... Yeah.
But yeah, Kittle. So besides those top 3, there's really not much out there. So we'll see. Njoku could be a blessing this year and be really good. Now, probably the most difficult thing to pick this year is Nick Chubb.
Where are we taking Chubb?
I think it depends all on Kareem, man. If Kareem plays 7 or 8 games this year, he's going to demand touches. He's Kareem Hunt. He's still a really good player. Yeah, he's been out of football for probably about a year after that. At that point, but that worries me as a Chubb owner, especially in those playoff weeks when you got Kareem Hunt behind you. They'll probably end up trading Duke Johnson or cutting him, or we'll see. Really,
see what happens. I think it depends on the Kareem situation.
Yeah, sure. I agree. If they end up cutting Kareem, and then Duke Johnson's another ownable player. Really good out of the backfield. We'll see where Duke Johnson goes. Yeah. I think the Ravens would be a good fit for Duke Johnson, kind of complement Ingram, but we'll see if they make a trade within the division. You said the Bucs a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
We'll see about that.
There are a lot of teams that could use a catching running back. So I put out a poll on the Shed Sports Twitter earlier today. In half PPR, who would you rather have, Julio Jones or Nick Chubb? I think it was like 75% Julio, 25% Nick Chubb. But I think a lot of that is because we don't really know what's happening with the Kareem situation. He's facing a minimum of 8 games.
Yeah.
We haven't really heard much about the recent incident.
I mean, their ADP is so similar. That's a tough question.
I mean, you need a good running back.
I think I voted for Julio on that option.
Yeah, I think I would take Julio too, just because he's a beast. He's a hell of a wide receiver.
Yeah, he did score a touchdown in like the first 9 games last year and ended up finishing with 9.
Still, he was the second.
He was wide receiver 3 from week 10 to the end of the season. So I mean, Julio is really good. He's a guy that could be in the top 4. Chubb, I think, is top 8, so that puts him right around in the same area. So we'll see. But right now, I think I would take Julio.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, the Browns are really good. Their defense is another sleeper defense. They were pretty damn good last year, and they got better this year. Myles Garrett is a machine. He probably could run through a brick wall, but they're a good defense. I'd want to stream on weeks when they're playing, somebody kind of bad.
Like the Ravens.
Yeah, which they'll play twice this year, or if they're playing Buffalo, which I have not checked their schedule.
Watch out for Josh Allen, though.
No, okay. So now we're going to go to what I think is the most exciting team in this division. that no one is talking about. So the most exciting team is definitely Cleveland, but the team that really no one is talking about that could be really good is the Bengals. Their defense is shit, so the fantasy purposes.
That opens up a lot of opportunities.
Fantasy purposes strictly. This kind of hurts Joe Mixon, but they got two pretty good receivers. They got Tyler Boyd and A.J. Green. Tyler Boyd's going to move over to the slot in Taylor's Ram-style offense. Means John Ross might get on the field a little bit. He's a guy that you could grab in your with your last pick of your round. He could be a monster. We'll see how good really he is. But the Bengals excite me. Dalton.
I mean, they just need Dalton to stay healthy.
Okay, he's good.
They need him to stay healthy.
Yeah, Dalton is not bad, but he's not great. He's right in the middle.
Good enough.
He's just good enough. He's a guy you would stream on when your quarterback has a bye. Yeah. So I think Dalton could be pretty solid actually for them. Good enough to distribute the ball.
Where are we going to draft A.J. Green?
I mean, guy gets hurt every year. The better question would probably be where are you drafting Tyler Boyd? He's
pretty high.
Yeah.
I would draft him as a top 20 wide receiver.
Tyler Boyd? Yeah. Oh, wide receiver.
Yeah, not top 20 overall.
My bad. Yeah, definitely. His ADP is compared to guys like Brandon Cooks. Now, who would you take? If you say Brandon Cooks, you're, again, donating to your fantasy pot. Tyler Boyd is going to be probably their number 2 guy this year.
Definitely their number 2 guy.
Could probably be a top wide receiver 15 at high end, which, I mean, if you're looking for a flex player in like the 5th or 6th round where Boyd's going, that's a guy that comes to mind. So besides that, though, now let's talk about their running back, Joe Mixon. We'll just ignore the tight end.
AFC leader in yards last year.
Yeah. Mixon
and he was out 2 games, I believe.
Yeah, probably. That sounds right.
He was out a few games.
Yeah,
he was
Bernard
still the
had a
AFC
couple big
leader in
weeks.
yards. So there's a lot of opportunity for him. I think he could be top 15 running back for sure. Maybe top 12.
Top 10, I'd say. I mean, he's getting drafted as like RB9, right around where Chubb's getting drafted. I mean, in some drafts he's going earlier.
The only thing that would worry me is that their defense is shit. They'll be down probably most games. They'll have to come back.
Yeah.
But who are you going to take? Nick Chubb or Joe Mixon? Chubb over Mixon?
Again, it's the Kareem news. Oh, yeah. Probably longevity reasons, I probably would take Mixon, actually. We saw, Jack Taylor was a quarterback coach of the Rams. Well, so he's going to really get that offense going a little bit. He's part of the new McVay coaching tree. So, again, we'll see. I honestly think that's a complete toss-up. But depending on the Kareem news, I would definitely, if Kareem's out, I would take Chubb. But if Kareem's in for half the season, that might lead me to take Mixon.
Okay, I can get on board with that.
Yeah. All right. Closing remarks.
So I just want to talk about something that was viral on Twitter for the past few days. It's that Face app. That app where you can put a picture in and then it returns like an old picture. Like it makes
I know
you
what you're
old
talking
and
about.
then it returns the picture. All the NFL teams are tweeting out 3 pictures of faces that were used.
The Bears did it.
Yeah, every team did it. So there was 3 pictures that they put in this machine and then got old pictures out. And then they took one regular picture of a player on the team. And then they tweeted out those 4 pictures and were like, it's crazy how, in 10 years, these players are going to still be here. But, it was funny. It was kind of funny the first time.
It got overdone.
And then, the 3rd, 4th, and then 5th. I swear every team did it. The 15th time, I just got sick of it.
Yeah, I agree. That was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
I did it. Everyone did it. I look like my dad. But, and just really bad. My closing remark, though, is go to your local bookie. I'm not advertising illegal gambling. Go on Bovada if you have to, which might be still illegal. But put your MVP odds on Andrew Luck, and I'm going to tell you why. That offensive line is better. Andrew Luck is in his 2nd year back from shoulder surgery. He's got great options. They added Funchess and Paris Campbell. He is going to be a monster this year. I really think that Andrew Luck, for his value, is going to be the MVP and probably the guy that you should definitely bet on. Looking up his odds right now, too. His odds are 8 to 1. So that's pretty solid value. Probably could get it for better depending on your book and where you're betting at. But that's what Action Network has it listed as. And I would definitely throw money if I was in Las Vegas right now on Andrew Luck to win the NFL MVP. Anything else, Noah?
Do we have any closing remarks from the interns?
50 days until football. So
50 days.
Get your shit together and don't be the guy at the draft who's unprepared and makes a bad pick because of it.
Way to go, Shedstein. All right, cheers.
Cheers. That's our show. Thanks for joining us. See you next week.